Hello and welcome to day 50 on the Pacific Crest Trail. I started out at Walker Pass in the evening to beat some of this crazy heat that the desert is having. Well, I guess it's not crazy, it's a bit to be expected to be encountering this kind of heat this time of year. So I've only hiked about 2 miles, but I've gained about 1,000 feet of elevation gain, and it is almost 7 p.m. so I've stopped to camp for tonight. I'm coming off of taking a couple of zeros. I packed out a big California style burrito for dinner tonight, and I'm just gonna enjoy it being another light day. I have so much excitement for this section of the PCT because in just a few days I'm gonna be completing the desert and I will be hiking into Kennedy Meadows South, which is the gateway to the Sierra section of the Pacific Crest Trail. And if you didn't know, a lot of people will consider the Sierra Nevada the gem of the Pacific Crest Trail. And yeah, I'm pretty excited about revisiting some places there and seeing parts of the Sierra for the first time. But first, we've got to get there. And so that's what we're going to be doing in this video. I do need to address something that's maybe a bit unexpected, or at least it was a bit unexpected for me. But when I got into Tehachapi in the last video, it was actually my sister-in-law that came and picked me up, and I went and stayed with her and my brother for a few days. And pretty much I had decided, but it solidified during that time, that I am skipping 100 miles, about 100 miles of the desert section. So the section from Tehachapi to Walker Pass, I will not be hiking. Maybe I'll decide that I want to return to hike it at some point, but for now, with the heat coming in, the scarcity of water in that section, and the fact that I just don't really feel like I'm missing anything specifically in that section, I've decided to go ahead and skip it. There's also the feeling and the fact that I'm well behind what's called the bubble, and that's where like most people are. And so I'm seeing some things like businesses starting to slow down or close, and so I just wanted to go ahead and kind of get a little bit more towards the bubble. I still won't be in it. There are people that are already through the Sierra section, and that's going to become more and more common in the coming days, but at least I'll be starting it, and by the time I get to Kennedy Meadows, things won't be all shuttered up and closed, and I'll still have the support of the greater PCT community to aid me in that. So I feel confident and comfortable with my decision. I truly think it's for the best, and I'm no less proud of myself for this, and that's something that I really needed to check in on and make sure that I was okay with. The chances that I would be able to have a continuous footpath, redlining, sticking to the trail and every mile of the trail, from Tehachapi forward is pretty slim. I mean, all it takes is one wildfire to cause me to miss a tremendous amount of the trail. So I might as well just put myself in a better position and do that right now if that's what I feel like, and it is. So I'm gonna enjoy this massive treasure of a town meal here, this big old California style burrito. found this perfect little seat here in this piece of granite, so I'm just taking a little break, but I just need a snack mostly to give me the last bit of energy to get up this hill. Then it's down, down, down to water, which is about 5 miles from here. And that's where I might take my midday break. We'll see. I'm not sure quite how hot it's going to get up here on trail. In the neighboring desert cities, it's been very hot, like 100 degrees. So it could easily be in the high 80s up here. And in that case, I won't want to hike during those hours if I can avoid it, which I can. So yeah, just gonna have a little bit of nuts and probably some of this protein bar. I was just having my siesta in the shade of this tree here, and I got back on trail and I saw this, and it took me a second, but it says 1/4, and I had to do a calculation because I was like, really? But indeed, 1/4 of the PCT, 660 miles. Woo woo, on trail water source, stoked. This is so dope. I thought I was gonna have to go off trail, but look at that water. Woohoo! So sweet. Nice. The next water source is in a little over 5 miles, so I grabbed more than I needed. I grabbed almost 2 liters, but it's kind of cool water, so I want to drink this one here. I'm gonna mix in some electrolytes. This is 700 milliliters, and yeah, I'll drink that, and then I'll carry still a little bit more than a liter until the next water source. I'm working on an 800-foot climb in 1.6 miles. I'm only a little less than halfway through the climb, and it's so hot. Just trying to seek a little bit of shade and cool down for a second before I finish this climb. I've got to go up through that notch up there, all the way up there. That's where I'm headed. Yay! Oh my goodness. Climb was brutal. Oh my goodness. Brutal. It is 11:35 p.m. I am leaving where I was camped. Not only was it hellaciously buggy, which I can deal with, but it was infested with mice that were trying to get into my tent, and I couldn't really sleep because I was afraid they were gonna chew through my gear, chew through my tent. There was one other person camped there. She's also leaving. She's behind me. I had to stop and get water, so I just got all my water that I need for the next 12 miles in the middle of the night. And I don't know how far I'm gonna go, but it feels relatively cool out here right now, kind of. It's actually quite hot in the tent. So considering that I fell asleep before it even got dark and got a little bit of shut-eye before the mice action started after nightfall, I'm feeling somewhat rested, so I may just try to push forward. We'll see. But this kind of sucks. And you won't be able to see it. Maybe I'll take a picture, but the stars are absolutely brilliant. So beautiful. But there is no moon, so it's very, very dark. Good morning. It was a rough night last night. I talked to you when I was hiking. I ended up hiking about 4 miles to the saddle camp, but the climb up here was so steep and exposed. And just felt like it would go on forever because you can only see right in front of you with the headlamp. But I got up here and I was aiming for that site you see behind me because I saw that indicated on far out. However, it was occupied. So fortunately, up on this side of the trail, there was a little spot that I could take. So I got in at about 2:35, had camp set up by 2:45, and took me a few minutes to fall asleep because the other girl who left the camp as well, she got in about 15 or so minutes after me. So I heard her come in. She just squeezed in with the people that were camping down there. She just left. I'm about to leave and head on down this hill and do 8 miles down to water. I do need to remember to make a comment on far out that the campsite that I try to stay at is infested with mice so that nobody else tries to do that. So I'm going to do that real quick. Then I'm going to saddle up my backpack, keep on hiking. I am 26 miles away from Kennedy Meadows South. I won't make it there today, but I'm going to try to get as close as I can with the heat coming. Even though it's still pretty early, it's just hit 9 o'clock. It is already so hot. It's already so hot in the sun. Oh my goodness, if I had any qualms about skipping ahead the 100 miles that I did to Walker Pass from Tehachapi, those are gone. Between yesterday and already today, it's it's really hard in this heat, so I'm gonna just try to stay safe. Right now there's still some spots of shade, but I have about 3 more miles of ups and downs, kind of constant ups and downs, and then I go down for 5. Oh my God, I have nothing left. How am I gonna do this? I'm so tired. This is the hard part because there's no choice. There's no choice but to fight through it. It's so hot already. Oh my gosh. I decided to chug some electrolytes because I don't remember how much I had yesterday, but I think it might have only been 1 packet. So with how much I sweat and how hot it was, I'm going to get started earlier with that today. I'm eating potato chips because they're salty. Another solo woman just came by, was talking about, well, she wanted to check on me because I'm literally sitting in the middle of the trail. I got out of her way, don't worry. I saw her coming and I got out of her way, but she was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, oh, I'm hot. I'm tired. She's like, yeah, these climbs are steep and it's hot and you go through so much water when it's like this. I don't know why the climbs in this section are as steep as they are, but they are very steep. It is just about 6:30 p.m. and I'm headed out from the water source for the second half of my hike today. It was excruciatingly hot today. Hopefully I'm hydrated enough right now. I have a 2,500 foot climb ahead and I'm a bit intimidated. While I was taking my siesta, I was having some muscle cramping in my calves and once in my wrist, which is an indication of trouble with hydration. So to say I'm nervous is a bit of an understatement. Some people really love cowboy camping and they do it all the time. I am doing it tonight because I'm exhausted and I couldn't find a spot where I could set up my tent. I don't really love it, but the stars are incredible with the new moon, so that's a big plus. I'm almost finished with the climb, so I should get it done pretty early tomorrow, and then it's pretty much downhill into Kennedy Meadows. My body held up actually really well. I was thinking like the hardware was all doing pretty good. The software, not as great, but yeah, I'm looking forward. Hopefully I could sleep decently tonight. So, good night. I'm in my tent. At the end of the day, I think I'm made for the soft life, and the soft life tonight is being in my tent because it got really windy and cold out there. I mean, bugs was one thing, which was not great. But then the wind picked up and I'm at almost 8,000 feet, so I got really cold. Does my tent really fit here? No, it does not. It's gonna be flapping. But I'm already much warmer, so hopefully I'll be able to fall asleep and stay asleep. Good night again. I'm about 2.5 miles away from the next water source, and I just needed to elevate my feet for a little bit. So that's what I'm doing. I found a shaded spot with a rock, and yeah, it's a bit of an awkward position. But yesterday really took its toll with the heat, and I grabbed some snacks earlier today and realized that I hardly ate anything yesterday, which I did not intend for, but I think it was just so hot that I had like 2/3 of my breakfast and a dinner and maybe a couple, I think I had like a small Cliff Bar, like 100-calorie Cliff Bar, and that might have been it. Probably some chips. Oh yeah, always chips. I definitely had chips. But anyway, once I get down to the water source, I'm pretty much done with the descent today, and the trail is relatively flat, so I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully it's nice and cruisy. I can make some decent time, and just feeling really excited and kind of emotional about getting to Kennedy Meadows South. I've dreamed of doing this for 10 years, and part of me still doesn't believe that it's actually happening. But I think it is. It just means that, the 700 miles desert section is completed and entering a whole new type of landscape, a whole new terrain, and really some of the most beautiful terrain in the whole world. So it's all very, very exciting. The heat is on. It is hot, even though I'm at elevation. But I'm only about 30 minutes or so away from the South Fork of the Kern River. That water is snow melt. It is flowing. Fun fact, I don't know if it was which fork it was or whatever, but the Kern River, I got frostbite there. The second time in my life that I've gotten frostbite was in the Kern River in July. I was maybe 10 years old. It was on my right index finger, which I had gotten frostbite on that finger before when I was probably like 8 while living up in Alaska. And I didn't know, but once you have experienced frostbite on a particular body part, it is more susceptible to getting it again. So I got it while playing in the Kern River as a kiddo. Nice cold water. Yeah, buddy. Let's see. Scoochies. Sorry guys. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Oh. Yay. Oh. Welcome to the Sierra. Great, a little eddy. Exactly what I wanted. Can't even speak. I'm just so happy. I'm so proud of myself. I'm also dehydrated, probably heat exhausted, and haven't slept enough. Plus, I'm really hungry right now. And I made it. Oh. Well, almost. I walk half the mile to the store. The general store is in sight. I've waited so many years for this moment. Oh my goodness. So many big feelings. Oh my God. There it is. There it is. A few minutes after arriving at the Kennedy Meadows General Store, I was whisked away on a hitch down to Grumpy Bear's, which is just a few miles down the road, and it's a resort with a restaurant. I also had sent a resupply box to Grumpy Bear's, and they allow free camping, free showers, and free laundry to hikers.
Congratulations, now you're serving 23. Yes.
Having skipped ahead from Tehachapi, I actually surprisingly ran into quite a few people I started the trail with that I hadn't seen in a long time. While I hadn't gotten the traditional round of applause while arriving at the Kennedy Meadows General Store, I was greeted with a warm welcome with familiar faces when I arrived at Grumpy Bear's, and that was a moment I will never forget. My arrival into Kennedy Meadows was everything I ever dreamed of. I was overcome with emotion and didn't really notice that I didn't get the round of applause, but I wanted to make sure that other hikers arriving did get all of the traditional aspects. So I made it a point during one of my 0 days to go sit on the porch at the Kennedy Meadows General Store and watch out for incoming hikers so I could start the round of applause. All of these people just came out of that van. 25 people.